Motivation, not methods. What does that mean? Well, it's got a pretty simple meaning, but an important one. The whole field of psychotherapy has been filled with people who think they can cure emotional problems with methods. Cognitive therapy has a lot of methods to change distorted thoughts, and ACT, I guess they have methods for meditation. You have behavioral techniques and interpersonal techniques. You try to teach people better communication so they'll have more loving relationships. I can remember when I was developing my interpersonal model, I remember walking somewhere and thinking about how people with relationship problems have what looks like very dysfunctional communication. They argue, they defend themselves, they don't listen. And so relationship therapists or marital therapists, they jump in and try to teach them other ways to communicate. And it doesn't work because they're already among the world's top communicators. They're experts. They're trying to produce pain and conflict, and they're trying to defend themselves and frustrate the other person. And they're doing a great job of it. And so what I mean by motivation, not methods, is you've got to, first of all, bring resistance to conscious awareness. And resistance is that part inside of us that actually doesn't want to change. People rarely say, oh, I really want to change. I'm just dying to give up my overeating. What kind of bullshit is that? Nobody wants to diet or exercise. Some people want to exercise. I don't. I hate it. But I do it for health reasons. But to think that people who are overweight, want to lose weight, they say, oh, I'm overweight, I want to lose weight. What a tremendous lie that is. Are you overweight? Oh, yes, you are a little. I can see that. Well, don't feel bad. I'm not judging you. I've got a little extra couple pads around my own stomach. But the idea, when you ask people who are overweight, would you like to lose weight? Would you like to lose weight? Oh, yes, you're saying. No, that's not correct. You don't want to lose weight. What you want to do is overeat because it feels great. Pig out, watch TV. That's what we want to do, and that's just human nature. It's not there's anything wrong with us. We have to eat to survive, so we have powerful drives genetically determined to eat. So whenever I'm thinking how to treat a person or a problem, I always first think, what's the resistance going to be? And then see if the person really wants to change. And once they're really begging you to teach them how to change, then my methods become dramatically and quickly effective. But if you ignore the motivation, which practically every therapist in the United States does, and probably worldwide as well, then your efforts are going to fall short. And that's what all the outcome studies for everything show. Methods without dealing with motivation rarely outdo placebo effects. But if you reduce resistance first, you can often hit a home run. And that's what I mean by motivation, not methods. The methods count, but only once you've established motivation. Now, your next question is a good one also. And although you haven't asked it, I knew you were about to ask it, weren't you? And that was, well, how do you deal with motivation? Say if someone's got some kind of habit or addiction. The way I do it, and we've got a tremendous little tool that you can practice with if you'd like to check it out and have some fun with it. Just take a little free trial. I created this method called the triple paradox. And it just came to me out of the blue on one of my Sunday hikes with my group. And one of the hikers was struggling with weight issues. She said, would you help me with my overeating? I said, oh, yeah, I'd like to help you with that. But before we deal with methods to help you with your overeating, I have a couple questions for you. And the first thing, I want you to tell me all the benefits of binging and overeating. Like, what are your favorite foods and how yummy they are and how wonderful it is to come home after a hard day of work, giving, and dealing with all kinds of emotional traumas that people have and demands on you. You say you like to come home and reward yourself with a dish of ice cream or some wonderful donuts, and that's fun, and that's giving yourself a reward, and on and on. So she began to list all the benefits of binging and overeating and came up with a list of powerful, real benefits of overeating. So that's the first question I asked her. And then the second question I asked her is, now that we've looked at all the benefits of your overeating, what's the downside of dieting and exercising? In other words, tell me how that sucks. And so then we made a big list of all the downside. You have to deal with deprivation. You're constantly yearning for food, and you have to say no. And then you have to get out and do your exercise and jog, and maybe it's raining outside or it's hot in the summertime and you're tired. And I've myself never gotten the runner's high, and if you do, you're lucky and you want to exercise, but most of us don't want to. And so she came up with this big list of all the disadvantages of diet and exercise. And now you can imagine a 3-column form. First, the benefits of overeating on the left, and then in the middle, the downside of diet and exercise, in that case. And then on the right side, tell me what binging and overeating says about you and your core values as a human being. That's really awesome and positive and beautiful. And this shocked her because she was thinking that her overeating was a sign of weakness and bad character and low willpower and all that kind of crap. But no, what does it show that's beautiful and awesome about you? And then she started listing all the things that it showed about her. Can you list a few things right now? What does it show about someone who just binging and overeating about their character? Well, she says, in a way, it's a form of self-love because I'm pampering myself. I'm giving myself something pleasurable. I work damn hard. I run several mental health clinics. I have like a 60-hour week, people making demands on me all the time. And this shows that I care about myself. I want to reward myself. It shows I'm not a conformist. I'm not trying to be skinny and conform to what society is saying that you should look a particular way. And she came up with all of these things that her binging and overeating showed about her that was positive and awesome, real benefits, and showed about her character. And these things rang true. It wasn't just bullshit. So now where are we? She's saying, I want help losing weight. And now we've listed 36 good reasons not to do that. And she said, well, why are we doing this? And I said, well, there's tons of ways to lose weight, to diet and exercise. The world's filled with ideas on how to do that, but I can't see why you would want to do that, given all the tremendous benefits of overeating, the hassle of losing weight and dieting, and what your overeating shows about you that's positive and awesome. Notice what's happened here. I, the therapist, the one who's supposedly helping, I'm doing the opposite. I'm trying to persuade her not to diet and exercise. And when I asked her that question, gosh, why in the world would you want to give that up? What do you think happened? You got it. You're right. What she said was, wow, I really do want to lose weight. And I said, and do you need some help with some methods? She said, no, I don't need any of that. I just needed the motivation, and now I've got it. And that's what I call a paradox, and that's the way I work with almost every kind of disorder, whether it's depression or some form of anxiety or relationship conflict or habit and addiction. And this freaks out most therapists because they have this compulsive addiction to helping and rescuing people, so they jump in, try to help. And parents do that to their children all the time, too, instead of listening and providing real warmth and support. And so that's one of the big discoveries in what I call Team CBT, TEAM, and that's the A, the assessment of resistance or paradoxical agenda setting, or forget the bullshit big terms. What it just means is deal with motivation before you use the methods. And that's what opens the door to the possibility of not only rapid change, but dramatic change.